Chapter 4 Autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. The third step to riches. Autosuggestion is a term that applies to all suggestions and all administrated stimuli that reach one's mind through the five senses. Stated in one another way, autosuggestion is self suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of mind where conscious thought takes place and that which serves as the seat of action for subconscious mind. Through the dominating thoughts, one permit to remain in the conscious mind, whether these thoughts be negative or positive or immaterial. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. No thought, whether it is negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion, with the expectation of thoughts picked up from the ether. Stated differently, all sense impressions which are perceived through the five senses are stopped by conscious thinking mind and may be either passed on to subconscious mind or rejected at will. The subconscious faculty serves therefore as an outer guard to the approach of the subconscious mind. Nature has so built as that we have absolute control over the material which reaches our subconscious mind through our five senses. Although this is not meant to be constructed as a statement that we always exercise this control. In the great majority of instances, we do not exercise it, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty. Recall what has been said about the subconscious mind resembling a fertile garden spots in which weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are sown there. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed the subconscious mind thoughts of creative nature or, by neglect, permits thoughts of destructive nature to find their way into this rich garden of mind. You were instructed in last of six steps described in the chapter 2 to read aloud twice daily the written statement of your desire for money and to see and feel yourself already in the possession of money. By following these instructions, you communicate the object you desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. Through the repetition of this procedure, you voluntarily create thoughts, habits favorable to your efforts to transmute desire into monetary equivalent. Go back to the six steps described in chapter 2 and read them again very carefully before you proceed further. Then, when you come to it, read it very carefully the four instructions for the organization of your mastermind group described in chapter 7. By comparing these two sets of instructions with that which has been stated in autosuggestion, you will see that the instruction involved in the application of the principle of autosuggestion. Remember, therefore, when reading aloud statement of desire through which you endeavoring to develop money consciousness, that their mere reading of words is of no sequence unless you mix emotion or feeling with your words. If you repeat a million times the famous MLQ formula day by day in every day, I am getting better and better without mixing emotion and faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. Your subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon the thoughts that have been well mixed with the emotion or feeling. This is a fact of such importance as to warrant repetition in practically every chapter. The lack of understanding of this is main reason of the majority of people who try to apply the principle of autosuggestion get no desirable results. Plain, unemotional words do not influence the subconscious mind. You will get no appreciable results until you learn to reach your subconscious mind with the thoughts or spoken words that have been well emotionalized with belief. Do not become discouraged if you cannot control and direct your emotions the first time you try to do so. Remember, there is no such possibility as something for nothing. Ability to reach and influence your subconscious mind has its price, and you must pay that price. You cannot cheat even if you desire to do so. The price of liability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying the principles described here. You cannot develop the described ability for a lower price. You and you alone must decide whether or not the reward for which you are striving, the money consciousness, is worth the price you pay for it in effort. Wisdom and cleverness alone will not attract and retain money except in a few very rare instances where the law of averages favors the attraction of money through these sources. The method of attracting money described here does not depend upon the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favorites. It will look for one person as effectively as it for another. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method, which has failed. If you try and fail, make another effort and still another until you succeed. Your ability to use the principle of auto-suggestion will depend very largely upon your capacity to concentrate upon to given desire until the desire becomes a burning obsession. When you begin to carry out the instruction in connection with the six steps described in the second chapter, it will be necessary for you to make use of the principle of concentration. Let us here offer suggestion for the effective use of concentration. When you begin to carry out the first of the six steps, which instructs you to fix in your own mind the exact amount of money you desire, holds your thoughts on the amount of money by concentration or fixation of attention with your eyes closed until you can actually see the physical appearance of the money. Do this at least once each day. As you go through these exercises, follow the instructions given in the chapters on faith and see yourself actually in possession of money. Here is not most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any orders given it in a spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although orders have often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe it, that you must have the amount of money you are visualizing, that this money is already awaiting your claim. The subconscious mind must hand over to you practical plans for acquiring the money which is yours. Hand over this thought to your imagination and see what imagination can or will to create practical plans for the accumulation of money through transmutation of your desire. Do not wait for a definite plan through which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are visualizing. Begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting. Meanwhile, that your subconscious mind will hand over the plan or plans you need. Be on the alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into the action immediately. They will probably flash into your mind through the sixth sense in the form of an inspiration. This inspiration may be considered a direct message from infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure to do this will be fatal to your success. In the fourth of the sixth step, you were instructed to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin it at once to put this plan into action. You should follow this instruction in the manner you described in the preceding paragraph. Do not trust to your reason which when creating your plan. Your reason is faulty. Moreover, your reasoning faculty may be lazy if you depend entirely upon it to serve you, and it may disappoint you. When visualizing the money you intend to accumulate with closed eyes, see yourself rendering the service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. Summarize of instructions. The fact you are reading this book is an indication that you are earnestly seeking knowledge. It is also an indication that you are the student of this subject. If you are only a student, there is a chance you may learn much, but you will learn only by assuming an attitude of humility. If you choose to follow some of the instructions but neglect or refuse to follow others, you will fail. To get satisfactory results, you must follow all instructions in a spirit of faith. The instruction given in connection with six steps in chapter 2 will now be summarized and blended with the principle covered by this chapter. First, go into some quiet spot, preferably in bed at night, where you will not be disturbed or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat aloud so you may hear your own words the written statement of the amount of money you intend to accumulate, the time limit for its accumulation, and a description of the service or the merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself you are already in the possession of money. For example, suppose you intend to accumulate $1 million by the 1st of your January 5 years hence, and that you intend to give personal services in the return for the money in capacity of sales representative. Your written statement for your purpose should be similar to the following. By the first day of January 20, I will have in my possession $1 million, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during interim. In the return of for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service as a sales representative of. Describe the service or merchandise you intend to sell. I believe I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can see now these. money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is awaiting transfer to me in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render it in return for it. I am awaiting plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Repeat this program night and morning until you can see in your imagination the money you intend to accumulate. Place a written copy of your statement where you can see it at night and morning. Read it just before retiring and upon rising until it has been memorized. As you carry out these instructions, remember that you are applying the principle of autosuggestion for the purpose of giving orders to your subconscious mind. Remember also that your subconscious mind will act only upon instructions that you emotionalized and handed over it to the feeling with feeling. Faith is the strongest and most productive of the emotions. Follow the instructions in chapter 3. These instructions may at first seem abstract. Do not let this disturb you. Follow them anyway. The time will come soon. If you do so, you have been instructed in spirit as well as in action, when a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism in connection with all new ideas is characteristic of all human beings. But if you follow the instructions outlined, your skepticism will soon be replaced by belief, and this in turn will soon become crystallized into absolute faith. Then you will have arrived at that point where you may truly say, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Many philosophers have made the statement that some people have control over their earthly destinies, but most of them have failed to say why this is. The reason why only may control one's own earthly status and especially one's financial status is thoroughly explained in this chapter. People may gain of control themselves and their environment because they have power to influence their own subconscious mind, and through it gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. You are now reading the chapter that represent the keystone to the arch of this philosophy. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you. The actual performance of transmuting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as an agency by which one may reach and influence the subconscious mind. The other principle are simply tools with which to apply autosuggestion. Keep this thought in mind and you will all the times be conscious of important part of principle of autosuggestion is to play in your efforts to accumulate money through the methods described in this book. Carry out these instructions as though you were a small child. Inject into your efforts something of faith of a child. The author has been most careful to see that no impractical instructions have been included because of his sincere desire to be helpful. After you have read the entire book, come back to this chapter and follow the spirit and in action this instruction. Read the entire chapter aloud once every night until you become thoroughly convinced that the principle of autosuggestion is sound, that it will accomplish for you all that has been claimed for it. As you read, underscore with the pencil every sentence that impresses you favorably. Follow this instruction to the letter, and it will open the way for a complete understanding and mastering of principles of success.